What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you with more Dokkan Battle, and I have a fun thought experiment, so shall we call it, here at the end of the video today. But first, let's get into the news for Dokkan Global, and it is going to lead into what I'm going to talk about later. I'm going to hint at this a lot, so stay tuned towards the end of the video to talk about this. But everything I'm going to talk about now is going to be important, so don't just skip ahead. Alright, so part 2, we're going to get a whole bunch of missions. We already know that. Login bonuses, we already know that. Dragonstone sale. If you can buy these, do it. I have a feeling something cool might happen to Global. Kind of connected to this guy. Now, LR Jiren is a great unit. And I did tell you in the video the other day when we talked about what he does and all that. Yes, he's phenomenal. He's going to hit like a truck. He's going to be amazing. But here's the deal with LR Jiren. He's not a Dokkan Fest. So he's going to be in an incredible number of banners going forward, including GLR banners, when we do inevitably get those. So while, yes, it would be fun to go chase him on this banner, don't go crazy. You might regret it. Just saying. Now, that said, I'm going to drop 150-ish stones going after him. I got like 600 stones at the moment. I'm going to be buying up some more stone packs and things like that. But, you know, I don't think he's the unit to go crazy for. Once again, stay tuned to the end, towards the end of the video. But, you know, definitely throw a few stones at it. You know, it's always, it's gambling. It's worth at least the attempt, you know? It's like, I'm that type of person that drops $2-3 a week on, like, lottery tickets. It's like, yes, is it expensive when you think about it in the long run? Sure, but it's $2. I'm not going to miss that. What is it like? You know, it's, ooh, I can't buy a pack of chips. Oh, no, I was probably better off without eating that anyway. So, just thought experiment. Like, throw a few little bit there, here and there at it, but don't go crazy. Elder Kai Summon is back, and I don't know about you guys, I haven't done the Elder Kai Summon in ages. I know Kais don't take up space in your box anymore, which is a really nice update. But the problem is, like, I have hundreds of these guys, and so many units are farmable now, like, I just rarely use them. In fact, I use more Sleepy Kais than I've used Elder Kais ever. I think I've got like 150 of these things sitting in my box, so I don't know about you guys, I just never use them. Now, Extreme Z Battle. So, we're going to get an Extreme Z Battle, an actual Extreme Z Battle, finally. Well, no, we got one a little while ago. But this is going to be for Topo and Dispo, I believe. And this is going to be a pretty good one. And, of course, remember, that's like 30 free Dragon Stones. Save those stones. And we're going to get the Pride Troopers event. And this is so you can actually acquire an Awakened Casserole. So, all that good stuff. Now, all these story events are opening, and that's because you're going to need pretty much all of this in order to awaken Jiren. No surprise there. Yeah, anytime you have an LR that requires a ton of medals, it's going to open that up. I think that's what he requires anyway. I could be wrong. All right. All these story events are reopening, which kind of makes sense. Now, here's a fun one. Extreme Challenge campaign for Frieza. So we are getting Frieza's EZA. This is the LR Frieza. We're getting his EZA, which is absolutely hype. I never did my damage test video on LR Goku. I really need to do that. Need to get him up to level 10 and work on that, because he's pretty phenomenal. We'll do the same thing with Frieza when he drops, but Goku is actually one of those units for the Extreme Z Challenge for Frieza, so this is going to open up all those Extreme Z events, so that you need to do like all those EZAs, and well, they're all Extreme Z areas. You need to do all the Extreme Z areas in order to awaken all the units that you need for Frieza. There's quite a few of them. We'll cover them in their own video, but that's coming in like a week or so. Just know this is going to be open for like, what? It's like a month, isn't it? It's a long time. Till March. Yeah, till March. So you got plenty of time to do it. But don't dawdle, because, you know, the Extreme Z areas, they do cost stamina. It's not going to pay you back in Dragon Stones. It's not Extreme Z Battle, unfortunately. And there's several units you're going to have to update in order to go fight Frieza. So some of them you probably already have updated, some of them you probably might not. And I believe Goku's actually included in there. So if you remember, you basically have to have all these units EZA'd in order to take on that event. So make sure you take advantage of that, guys. And Goku's totally worth anyway. But that is coming, and that is worth paying close attention to. Extreme Z area for Bardock is also coming. I don't believe he's part of the campaign, but it's a thing. So all these events are coming back. We're getting another chain battle next week. I want you guys, I'm not hyped for chain battle. And that kind of takes us back to part 1. So here was kind of my thought experiment. It's not really a thought experiment by any stretch of the imagination, but here's kind of my thinking on this, okay? So if you guys didn't know, we pretty much already know some of what's going to happen in the JP 6th anniversary, and that's we're going to get UI Goku. He is confirmed, and SS Blue Evolution Vegeta, I believe, is what they said is going to be his counterpart. So obviously it's going to be a dual Dokkan Fest, dual LRs at that. There's going to be a revival mechanic. Apparently when Goku hits 0 is when he transforms, when he is killed, then he does his transformation, which is interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. I'm sorry, I take that back. It's saying here part 2 will introduce a revival mechanic. So actually, I take that back. Part 2 will probably be LRSBK that goes into UI Omen. But UI was the one who, anyway, we'll see. So, but UI Goku is confirmed to be the LR apparently, and SS Blue Evolution Vegeta is going to be like his counterpart on the Dual Dokkan Fest LR banners. So these are just preliminary information. This isn't really crazy stuff yet. We already knew most of this, honestly. But that revival mechanic, we'll have to see how that works out, because that could be really awesome for like Super Battle Road. But the problem is, like, usually after transformations, those units get wild, and nobody's going to want to wait for their unit to die to do that. So it's like, you know. But here it brings me to a thought. So if you guys remember, there's a handful of banners that we're actually missing. There's 3 Dokkan Fests that we're missing to be caught up with JP. Now, that's a solid 3 months of content. And to be fair, we generally do get some global exclusives that happen for Saiyan Day and all that stuff. So, being that the anniversary is Universe Survival Saga related, and we're getting Jiren now, and everything just kind of seems to be lining up for global, is it possible, and bear in mind, Jiren, so the Jiren banner ends, I believe, on the 31st, if I go back up here. Yeah, Jiren banner ends on the 31st. Is it possible that they're now going to line up the anniversaries with the down, like, instead of basically having JP anniversary, then 6 months later, 4 months later, having the 5 months later, having the global anniversary, and then having the download celebration? What if we just had the anniversary and then the download celebration? Because it's really not even a download celebration anymore. Like, the downloads have cooled down. Rerolls are not what they used to be. It's not as wild and crazy as it once was. Would it make more sense for them to do all these major events lined up? A lot of people have been talking about this on Twitter, and it kind of makes sense. Like, we are lacking a couple of Dokkan Fests. We could easily work those in. They could be reruns on JP, or we don't even have to be lined up like that. We could get things at different times, but the celebrations, the big celebrations, all happen simultaneously on both versions. I don't know how I feel about that, because honestly, the best part about having global behind JP is the fact that we basically get to use JP as a sandbox. We see what everything does. We see these units in action. I know a lot of people get like the Green-Eyed Monster and, oh, I want to play JP so I can have the unit earlier. But realistically, if the unit's a dud, which some of them, frankly, fallen off the map pretty spectacularly, not anniversary units per se, maybe part 2 units, but I digress. Would you rather have global as a sandbox for the anniversary? Or, since everything seems to be lining up, and in fact, if you go look at it shows Ultra Instinct Goku here. And we don't have anything with Ultra Instinct Goku aside from the story event lined up. Are we going to have a joint anniversary? I'll leave you that question. That's the big question, in fact. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. And not only do you think it's actually going to happen, if it does happen, would you like it? Or would you continue enjoying, JP as a sandbox and global at least get it, knowing what we're going to get? Or would you rather the surprise? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share. I'll be back at you guys with more Dokkan Battle soon.